Hello and welcome back to another episode of Penny's 2 Cents. Today I'm chatting with Grant Galot of SAFTisland about escapism through music, both songwriting and live performances, growing up and building worlds, and how to be both the paintbrush and the paint. Thank you so much for joining me and sharing your journey, Grant. I will be sure to never shuffle any of your playlists. Welcome to SAFTisland. Hello.
Hi there.
How are you doing today?
I'm so good. I'm so excited to be chatting with you, Penny.
Oh, likewise. Thank you so much for joining me, Grant. And you released your music under SAFTisland. I think that's somewhere I definitely want to start, is the name. Where does it come from? What inspired it?
For sure. I've been running the SAFTisland name ever since I was maybe 12 years old.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is a lifelong project. I started it with my buddy Caleb Ives back in middle school. And it started out as just a way to connect with our community, which at the time was, our 10 friends in middle school. But the idea has always kind of stood to create, inspire others to create, and inspire, the people who are watching or listening to be involved. So it's evolved from there. It was a YouTube channel at the time, and
nice.
It's turned slowly into something more serious. And music has just taken the lead with the project so far. So.
Wow, cool. Yeah. Is Caleb still involved, or is it all you now?
He's not involved at the moment, but I want him back, man. I want to reach out to him and be like, man, let's take over the world together again.
Yeah, nice. Nice.
Yeah, it stands for Super Adventure Fun Time Island, which, to a middle schooler's brain was just like the coolest name ever. And part of me still thinks it is, so we'll keep it for now.
It's nice. It's refreshing. It's very refreshing. And yeah, I think it's definitely reflective of the high energy in your shows. I was introduced to your music from the live scene. That was the first time I ever was exposed to it, and it definitely feels suiting. You have a very, very high energy set.
Thank you. Yeah, you catch me on the treadmill for like 2 weeks prior to that, getting my lungs ready to go give it all on the stage, and then I'll be out for another couple of days after that, just like trying to catch my breath.
Yeah, it's part of the process though, and it's athletic to perform to that standard. It's definitely, it gets your body involved.
No doubt about it. Yeah, you want to feel confident when you go up there, so make that happen.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm curious what performers have inspired you, because I feel like your music it drifts between a lot of genres. It is very musical in that I don't think any of your songs are kind of basic 4 chord progressions. Like, they're all very spicy, you have very intricate instrumentals. So yeah, I'm really curious what performers have inspired you to create the music you do.
Yeah, no doubt. I listen to all music. It's the easiest answer I could give. It's like everything under the rainbow I can find something to like. But there's certain people who have kind of changed my life as I've been going to shows. At this point, I feel like I've gone to so many shows that I can't even count. But the ones that really stuck out to me were 21 Pilots for sure.
Oh, nice.
Tyler Joseph. I'm sure if you've been to the live show, you can kind of draw the comparison. It's just bringing more to a live show than just going up there and being like, all right, this is my song, this is the next song, this is the next song. I want the whole thing to kind of feel like just a one big piece of art, and that's something that 21 Pilots does so well. I just saw them in Anaheim with my dad, and
oh, really?
Yeah, he said he's been to like 100+ concerts. He's seen Journey, he's seen every single person, and he's like, 21 Pilots is top 10 for me.
Wow.
Yeah, they just do a great job. Yeah.
That's cool. Do they do car radio?
They do.
I would cry so hard.
You like that song?
It's just, yeah, both I like it, and it's sort of moved into this category of songs that for me is so painful and reminiscent of a very painful time in my life. Like, that song must be at least like 10 years old now, right? So I don't listen to it often, I'll say that. Like, I only listen to it if I'm really trying to get into my feels.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, that's the best part about music, though. At least for me, is that music makes you feel something. So whether it's, feeling energetic and great, or if it's being in your feels, either way, that's what you aim for.
Yeah, definitely, to evoke something.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, and your music has a lot of really, I think, interesting themes of things like escapism, for example. Somewhere is one that definitely stands out from the live set, and yeah, taps into that kind of escapism. Is that how you see music? How do you kind of treat music and live performances and things in that way?
Yeah, definitely. It's spot on. Somewhere is about, going somewhere else isn't going to change your problem. You kind of have to dig within yourself to do that. kind of ties into the whole idea of Super Adventure Fun Time Island, kind of this fictional escapist place that you can get away to for a little bit. You know, when you're at the show, you're visiting Saft Island, and all of that happens in there is that island. Pardon me. Somewhere I wrote when I was still in Denver and just feeling kind of at my lowest, and moved out to California, and you know those problems still kind of follow with you, so you gotta deal with them at some point. Something I'm still dealing with. Hopefully, when I'm making music, I don't want to kind of just sit in self-pity or the negative. Kind of write a way out, a path out of that. So you know you can start the song somewhere in a place of pain, but I think that giving a little bit of guidance, or at least your wisdom from what you've learned through that, is a great way to end the song, and that's what I try to do with all of them.
Wow, that's really interesting, and I hear a lot of your kind of lyrics in the way that you speak, like in Breakfast Shots, focus on the present, let it heal you, lead with what you know.
Yeah.
That kind of feels like the sentiment that you've just delivered in a way.
Absolutely.
That's cool. And I feel like a lot of your songs echo each other as well, because it feels like when you're listening like to the EP and things, you have Somewhere, and then you have In My Head saying as well, I know I can't go anywhere to escape. It kind of feels like something of a call and response.
Absolutely.
to yourself.
You get it, Penny. You get me. This is you're trying to world build a little bit, you know, have some similar themes in different songs.
That's cool. Cool. What kind of world are you building these days?
These days, I think I'm trying to build the next phase of this, you know. Everything that's come out so far has been stuff that I've released either when I lived in Denver, or I think Breakfast Shots is the newest thing that's come out. But I'm trying to kind of understand where I'm trying to head with this. It might get a little darker because things have gotten darker at times, but still, I want to focus on not just spreading negativity and kind of just dumping on everybody. You know, there's a certain amount of that I want to do, but also, like I said, like provide some kind of hope. You know, I think that's what feels powerful to me.
Wow, that's nice. And yeah, I think that's part of, like you say, the beauty of music is the catharsis that can come from it, that it's not necessarily negative so much as reality and
no doubt.
hoping.
Yeah, if it's raw, that's what draws me to it for the most part with any artist. You know, something raw, something that takes risks, something that isn't afraid to take itself seriously. You know, that's something that I, for a while, was struggling with my music and just personally, trying to just think of myself as like the butt of the joke or something. But, you know, if you have the courage to take your project seriously and go for it and still have a sense of humor about yourself, like that's what I'm trying to do.
Wow, yeah, that's really interesting. What are you listening to these days?
These days, I'm all over the map. I think that for a while, I dipped out of the EDM scene, but back in Denver, I was super into that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. My sister really got me into it when I was like maybe 14 years old. I went to my first EDM show. And,
cool.
Yeah. When I graduated high school, I moved out here by myself, so I'd been like away
wow.
from everything and just, you know, running the greatest hits, you know, Green Day and in 21 Pilots and all my favorites, Foo Fighters. But now my sister's moved back out here, and she and I have been going to a ton of EDM stuff. So I'm trying to find some influence in kind of obscure genres that can mesh with my alternative sound and see if I can come up with something cool.
Wow, yeah, I truthfully wouldn't have guessed an EDM background from your music
Yeah,
necessarily. Yeah. Do you produce yourself?
I do, yeah.
All of it?
Sorry?
All of it? Everything?
All of it,
wow.
Yeah. At the moment, that's the way I'm rolling. But I think right now I'm open to making the project less of just me and opening it up to the people that inspire me in my life. So if there's a certain producer that I would love to work with, great, let's do it. We'll put it on Saft Island. It's kind of the host planet for all of the creativity, and we'll kind of split it up accordingly. But right now I'm producing all of my own stuff, singing on it, and it's more so like I have a tune in my head and I just got to get it out. So that's the tool to do so.
Yeah, you are an incredible multi-instrumentalist then. Things like that piano intro on Innocent is really tasty.
Oh, you like that one?
Yeah, it's really, really nice.
Right on.
That's cool.
Yeah, I want to bring that to the live eventually, you know, get the spotlight, the big grand piano. Like, first I got to get better at the piano, though, because I'm out here typing out notes on, like, a MIDI keyboard.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, that's the beauty of it, though. Like, modern technology lets us manipulate and move in so many different ways.
No doubt.
But you're such an energetic performer. I feel like it's always seemed natural for you to be not behind an instrument anyways. It's so engaging to watch you perform.
Thank you, Penny.
And you're good at adapting your songs to the performance. Things like I said, my first exposure to your music was live. So things like the kind of audience involvement of breakfast shots, that element of the check it out, get up. It's so prominent in your live show. And then I was really surprised, to be honest, when I went to Spotify and it was just kind of a background sound.
Yeah,
you know, it was cool. You're
chill
really,
vibe.
Yeah, I thought that was really clever though, how you manipulate it to work in both platforms really organically. It was cool.
Thank you very much. That still blows my mind, seeing people participate. Like, genuinely, this is not something that that I was doing all of the time. It certainly took a fair bit of work to get to play shows. So I feel so lucky even getting to play shows. And when people are participating and actually vibing with it is a feeling unlike anything else. I'm sure you resonate with that with your own live shows.
Definitely. That's where it breathes a whole new life and gives so much meaning and purpose to it all.
No doubt. That's fuel for a musician. It's like, oh my goodness, people are catching on. People love it. That feels good.
It does. That's cool. What, my brain froze.
Yeah, you're chilling.
What instruments do you play then? Because things like, I think your drum beats are really interesting, the way it kind of lags behind a lot. It's really chill. It's really, again, it kind of tickles your ear as a musician, I think.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, I play, mostly singing. I think that I would consider myself maybe the most talented at just going and singing and being that performer, but I can accompany myself with a rhythm guitar, trying to get more of the lead stuff going, but I'm just learning. But it's more of just a feeling, I'd like to learn, like I said, the piano. I would love to be able to just sit there and do Bohemian Rhapsody type ballads,
Yeah.
For the most part, it's using the tools that I got to make the sound work. It's a lot of digital drums right now. But I'm also open to writing more as the band that you see live. I think that we've just got such a good chemistry, and I'd love to start releasing stuff as a band as well. So it might switch up at some point.
Nice, you have a consistent core band that you always bring with you when you play live?
Absolutely, yeah. We have definitely adapted all of the kind of source material that's on Spotify and Apple Music and all that, and made a big band rendition of it, which is what you referenced earlier with Breakfast Shots, kind of making the live show feel a little bit different. I'm into that. And maybe part of that comes from the EDM thing. There's a lot of remix culture there where people will just flip the same song and you're hearing the same song in a different way. And I think there's something so beautiful about that, even just doing the studio version and the live version sounding different. Mac Miller did that on a tape called Live from Space that he did with the internet live. And it's one of my favorite things because you'll hear the record sounds one way, you get to enjoy that, and then you just hear the same song in a completely different respect, and it's so cool.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool. Then what's been your journey to the stage? What kind of brought you into music? How were you introduced to it? How did you know that I'm going to go to California and I'm going to be on Los Angeles stages?
Yeah. I think it's mostly been just a complete feeling thing all my life. I was singing in the car with my mom on the way to school and just feeling the music, tapping my toe. She was always saying that I was hitting the quarter notes and whatnot, even as a little baby.
Cool.
Yeah, definitely not a traditional background, but it's more so just getting shown music that really resonated with me throughout my life from my parents and through my siblings and my friends and family. I did a fair bit of choir in middle school and a little bit in high school, and then we did School of Rock, the play, senior year. So that incorporated a little bit of that theatrical element. I love to just be on the stage, this is where the art lives, and we can kind of put on this personality, have a little Hannah Montana moment, and then get off and be regular old Grant.
That's cool. That's actually something I wanted to ask you about, because you are an actor as well, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So do you feel that it kind of takes on a role in a character?
Absolutely.
Separate from Grant?
Yeah. No, I think if I carried myself the way that I was on stage, I'd just be staring off in the distance, waiting for the wind to catch my hair right or something like that. It'd be very awkward.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. No, but once you get the chance to get up on stage, you got to give it all you got, and you got to make it memorable. So that to me is like really cathartic, is get to be myself and then get up there and express this other, like, almost maybe more confident version of myself, because you really just got the audience's attention. You can live within the art that you've created.
Well, I feel like that's something that you tap into a lot, actually, a sense of self and identity in your songwriting, especially with things like, who am I?
Yeah.
Some of your songs, is it okay to be me? I resign to all the demons that I have designed. I thought that lyric just was one of those things where it was like, okay, hang on, I think I want to pause the song. Like, I need to linger on this for a moment. Like, there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
No, absolutely. It's something that I've always dealt with, is like a lot of us, we're trying to win that wrestling match with our demons, and sometimes it feels a little more comfortable to let them win. So that's kind of where that comes from, and it's not the answer, is what I'll say, is to let the demons win. You gotta keep fighting. That's what keeps you going in life.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think, like you say, there's times where that's important, and you follow that line with learning the most in this time of my life, right? So
No doubt.
I think there's always a lot to be learned through the demons. They normally are here to teach us something.
That's right. Yeah, they said, what was it? The movie, it's the animated movie Sing. They say, what is the best part of being at rock bottom is you can only go up from here.
Oh,
Nice. So you
nice.
learn the most in that time of your life, and hopefully you can come out of the muck a little bit stronger.
Yeah, that's true. That's cool. Well, I feel like you do a really good job championing artists in general. You were involved with We Found New Music, right?
Mm-hmm.
What has been kind of your experience of being able to host other musicians and things like that? How is your network in California kind of formed?
This has been the most incredible experience of my life.
Yeah.
I owe a great deal to Grant Owens and We Found New Music. It has just been such a thrill to be able to just fully immerse myself in the music world. And little did I know how much I would just love the people that I would meet. I mean, yourself included. It's been such a journey to see you guys regularly and to get to support everybody. That's really something that makes my heart so whole. Like, for a while, this has been such a lonely and tough journey. And to have like a supportive friend group where we can all kind of just support each other and have fun and chase our dream. Like, that's why I'm here, is to do all of this. And I feel so lucky that that's my life now.
Wow. Well, you've obviously created it. You've worked incredibly hard to get to this stage.
Thank you. Likewise.
Yeah. How long have you been in California for?
I am coming up on 4 years now.
Oh, nice. That's a
Yeah.
long time.
It's coming up, on a long time now. November 2018 is when I moved out here.
Wow.
Didn't know a soul except for my good buddy Travis McKay. I live in his back unit, and he's actually lead guitar in the band.
Oh, cool.
And we've just been rocking ever since. That guy inspires me a lot, and got this all off the ground, and life seems pretty crazy now in a good way.
Wow. That's brave to come somewhere like this not knowing anyone. It's a jungle out here.
It is a jungle out here. Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
I feel like life rewards the brave, though. You gotta go for it. Take the risk. Risk it for the biscuit.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is true. I love that. You gotta risk it for the biscuit.
Come on now.
Well, that being said, I feel like you kind of deliver a lot of really strong messages through your music. What would you want to be remembered for as a writer?
I want to inspire those who maybe have lost their way a little bit. I've certainly been there. Recently have been feeling it, so I can't find my own direction sometimes, but if I can provide that for others, that makes me happy. Providing some value, some service to other people's lives. I really want to avoid having the project be a showcase of how talented I am or something. I think that somebody who can recognize they've got talents can use those to inspire others in a way that makes it feel like it's more about them and what we can provide to you. That's where I aim to be, is just a selfless creator. I want to help people. I want to inspire them. And if I can do that, I'll be happy.
Wow.
Yeah, it works for me.
That's fantastic. What songs have left the biggest kind of healing impact on you?
Man, a lot of older tunes. I've been like really into like Nat King Cole and that style of music. I got a record player, and back in Denver, there's this place called Twist and Shout. And
I know it.
Have you been there?
Yeah. My sister lives in Denver.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I admittedly always end up leaving there with more books than records. I find I have just such amazing books and anthologies. And yeah, last time I was there, I remember I got Dave Grohl's book.
Oh, right on.
I got Halsey's book. I got a few artist books that I was like, the vinyl's amazing, but the reading really got me going.
Yeah, they could live in there. They've got everything.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's like Wonderland.
No doubt about it. I didn't know that you had Denver ties. That's cool.
Yeah. My sisters lived there for a long time, so
Right
I've visited
on.
there quite a bit the past few years.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, right on. They have a random vinyl deal where you pay like $6, you get 10 random vinyls.
Wow.
I am so into the idea of that, just letting Destiny choose what you're listening to.
Yeah.
I get a lot of joy from listening to those things, and a lot of them are like older Nat King Cole, Patsy Cline style.
Ooh.
Like, I think that stuff resonates with me. It's just a very pure form of music. Yeah, like I said, like anything raw, anything where people are really just like spitting their feelings. I like that.
That's cool. That's really cool. That's cool. Well, I'm curious to know a little bit about your career as an actor as well. What has that been like? What kind of roles do you like taking on and things like that?
It's been wild. It has been wild. Yeah, definitely. I have done almost exclusively commercials right now. The goal is to hopefully one day move into like TV and movies and do kind of like a Jared Leto, Childish Gambino vibe where you can have your own project and then you can be a part of others' projects, be the paintbrush and the paint in different respects. Yeah, acting is wild. You have to, yeah, absolutely. The audition game can just be a beast, you know.
Yeah.
It's very last second. It's very much like, all right, we need you in Hollywood either later today or tomorrow, and you're gonna go try it out and see if they want you. If not, then it's just a no, and you move on.
Wow,
Yeah.
sounds quick.
It is quick, yeah. But otherwise, sometimes it hits, and it's so thrilling. You know, you go in there, you get the call back. Oh, they love me, you know, like a little validation.
Yeah, sure.
If you really do end up on set, if you get it at the end of the day, it is magical. At least if you like being in that environment. I with the YouTube channel thing and back in Denver, I did a lot of PA work, which is just like bottom of the totem pole on set, like get me coffee kind of thing. And I just love the teamwork that comes with filmmaking. So getting to put what I feel is like my most where I feel the most talented, I get to put that foot forward and be the actor on set and not the PA. You know, I do PA stuff every once in a while, but to get to feel special like that is very, very cool.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, no doubt.
What would be your dream role, like the perfect role for you?
Man, I want to be in Gremlins 3.
Okay.
Yeah,
nice.
we got to make that happen. Pennycast, you got to tweet Gremlins.
Okay,
Do they have Twitter or something?
Yeah. That's true. We'll give the shout out.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. What films do you like then as well? What have been kind of your favorite pieces of media growing up?
I was exposed to a lot more than most kids in terms of movies. Oh yeah. That's been big for our families. We would always go to like the horror movies when I was like 10. Like
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. My parents rule. We saw this movie called Insidious. It's probably the scariest thing I've ever seen. I was literally 11, like sitting in the theater, like,
Oh my god.
what am I watching right now? But I love that stuff.
That's crazy. What was like the goal of like, we're going to harden you as a kid? You need to see what this world can be like.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it was like a test.
Oh my god.
I don't know. They've always they've exposed me to the world in a way that felt fair and that I could learn from, I guess. I don't know. I'm so glad that it was the case because I think that if I were to be like sheltered from all that stuff, I wouldn't have the same interests that I have nowadays. But a lot of horror movies. I love horror movies. Anything by A24, like the indie stuff. Love it. If it feels intentional and stylized, I'm super into that. But I see a ton of movies. I got that AMC pass now.
Oh, nice.
Changed my life. Also, like, gets me to avoid a lot of the stuff that I need to be doing by just, like, go sit in a theater for a little bit.
Nice. That escapism.
Yeah, exactly. Come on now.
Yeah,
I need you to be my therapist, Penny. I don't know these things about myself.
I mean, you say it, right? In somewhere, we're going to go to lunch and then a movie for one.
Man, I've been hitting that movie for one for a few years now.
Nice.
Kind of blissful, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh no, I completely agree. I think taking yourself on dates is one of the most like intimate, special things you can do for yourself. Like,
Come on.
Yeah, it's
Self-care,
important.
baby.
Yeah, that's where it's at.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's where it's at. Well, that being said, Somewhere is one of those ones that stands out to me in your live set. When you're building a live set, what songs are important to you to put in? How do you end up building that experience?
It's all about the pacing.
Okay.
All about the pacing. I used to throw little get-togethers during high school, and I'd make a playlist for like those little parties. And I would tell people it's all about the pacing. You can't go hard for 3 hours straight. You got to give them ups and downs and ebbs and flows. And that's kind of what we lean into as a band, is the dynamics of everything. You know, all of a sudden we're all quiet and then we're all big. And I love that because it keeps the audience engaged. So we open the set with something called Welcome to SAFTisland. It's kind of like this intro of everybody, a celebration of everybody, get the audience's attention, then go right into somewhere where it's maybe the one that people know the most. So there's a lot of factors into which song goes where, but it's all about that pacing.
Nice.
Yeah, like a movie, you know? Think of it
Yeah.
like that. That's kind of how I like to try to do it.
That's so true. That's cool. So then when you were making these playlists, there's no shuffle, like you've put them in the order they belong in?
You're not shuffling my playlist.
Nice.
No way. No
love that.
way.
I love that. I respect that. I respect that a lot. I'm a top to bottom album listener, so I get that.
You get it. You know, you get the art in each song, and then you get the art of listening to them all together. There's an intention behind which songs go where, and maybe it influenced which songs they wrote next. So, you know, you recognize the art in that too.
Yeah. And I noticed that, for example, you reference second grade at the end of Innocent in the spoken word bit at the end. So, yeah, it's easy to feel and sense the bridges that you've created in your experience as well when listening to the recorded versions.
Right on. Thank you, Penny.
Of course.
Try to connect them all if I can.
Yeah, it makes such a great experience as a listener to feel like you can immerse yourself to the degree of like going to a film, like you follow a story and watch it unfold in front of you. It's really beautiful.
No doubt. Thank you very much.
Of course. That being said, one of your songs that I'm curious a bit about the meaning of is Second Grade. I feel like when it gets to the end, my dream girl ain't real and my life is a lie.
Yeah.
It kind of ends a bit abruptly. As a listener, what's the story behind this one?
No doubt. Yeah, back in second grade, where the story takes place, that song kind of represents in the scheme of the grand scheme of the album is kind of like where the problem began, and it's just a very lonely, somber vibe. I think I was a very lonely kid in a lot of respects. I had friends, but I feel like in the downtime is when I really start to feel that. I'm somebody who I feel at my best when I'm with people. I feel my best what I can, how I can present myself to others, and I feed off of that energy. So when I'm by myself, I'm kind of like no good. In second grade, I was watching a show that I was super into called Bakugan. It's like a little toy game.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like Pokemon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I had a fat crush on one of the characters on that show. So it's kind of like the whole song kind of draws on that idea of like, why do I feel the most comfortable when I'm with somebody who doesn't exist, pretty much.
Wow.
And in the music video, we tried to capture that. Shout out to my buddy Conrad Mata, directed that one. Playing around on this little TV that I watched when I was younger, the one that I would watch in second grade. And we did this effect over my eyes where it's kind of like this static, again, like the escapism thing. Like it's not really real, but if you keep yourself stimulated in this way, it works for the moment. But therein lies the problem, because you can't escape your problems if you go somewhere else.
No.
Cue somewhere.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
What is kind of then on your EP, Lovely Boy? How would you describe then that story? What's kind of the overarching theme for this?
That one really is kind of the origin tale, I would say. I tried at the moment to capture kind of the journey through mental health struggles, something I've always been passionate about. And I think, by the end of it, it's to learn that you can't kind of put off your problems on others or blame others. You got to look inside yourself to figure out what needs to be done. And at the time, I was like innocent references. Like I was letting other people kind of dictate how I feel. Something I still struggle with, but that's why we make the art, right? Is to remind others and to remind ourselves at times, like, it's gonna be all right if you follow kind of what you have put on the page. You can be familiar with that kind of territory. So that's kind of how I see it. If I start to feel a certain way, I'm like, oh, well, I wrote Innocent feeling this way, so it's all going to be good. Like, you know.
Yeah, and Innocent, you don't control my life. It has such a strong mantra of a chorus. It's really empowering.
Yeah, right on.
That's cool. I really enjoyed your EP. Like the adventure of it, I think is really exciting. It takes you through something.
Thank you very much. Well, that's the goal. So I really appreciate that, Penny.
Of course, of course. What can we expect from you in the future then?
Lots coming out. I've got nothing but like untapped potential right now. I feel like I want to do something super unique with this project. I want to keep doing the live shows, but right now I'm taking a small step back to kind of spice up the set again, get some more cool songs going so that the people who are showing up have something to look forward to. I'm not running the same set. I always want the SAFTisland show to feel like just that, like a show. Much like the Cirque du Soleil thing has different themed shows around, you know, you're going to see that era of the show. So I'm trying to build that right now, and I can't wait to get back out there because it makes me feel like Superman when I can come up on stage and do that.
Yeah. Well, and you are such a talented performer, and you draw a crowd. Every show of yours I've been to has been packed out. People really look forward to you. So.
Oh my goodness, it means the world. It feels unreal, Penny. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, you mean you deserve it. Like you say, you've built it, and it's never an easy journey to get to the stage. And getting to the stage is one thing, and drawing a crowd is another beast all to its own. So it seems like you're kind of conquering the machine in a really powerful way.
Damn. I want to be on this podcast every day. You're warming my heart right now.
Well, I am so grateful that you joined me. I've been really looking forward to chatting with you because, yeah, I think, like you say, music that kind of taps into mental health and these problems that are kind of, you know, difficult to confront and often are very internal. Music is such a good place to make sense of things and to make progress and find healing. So
yes, couldn't have said it better. I think that's the perfect cap on it. Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for joining me and for sharing and being vulnerable with us today. This was a really fantastic conversation. Thank you.
Absolutely. Wouldn't miss it.